Thank you for joining us this evening for our Cumberland Family Academy workshop. Cumberland Family Academy is a Cumberland County Schools initiative. The Cumberland Family Academy is committed to enriching the lives of children by bringing parents, guardians, and schools closer together as equal partners. When families have high expectations for children and encourage them to work hard, they support and promote a child's academic, social, and emotional well being. The purpose of the Family Academy program is to provide families with the necessary tools to support the success of their child's education. This evening, our workshop presenter is Diane Newell, Mathematics and Curriculum Specialist, K-5 Elementary Programs.
Good evening, Cumberland County parents, and welcome again to our Success with Mathematics. As we go through our session tonight, we want to touch bases on a few topics. First of all, we're going to talk about math knowledge and becoming a math family and how it deals with mindset, and that math and literacy are a perfect pair. And then we're going to show you some resources that you can use at home with your boys and girls in helping them to become proficient in mathematics as they continue through the school year. And then we'll turn it back over to Ms. George for any questions that you may have. So let's get started. And let's be mindful of the guidelines that she shared with us. Please place your computer on mute during the workshop and make sure that you signed your name in with your child's name in the chat box. And any questions that you have during this presentation, also place those in the chat box and we will respond to those at the end of the session. All right, let's get started. Let's talk for a few minutes about mathematics and the knowledge. Mathematics, we know, is very useful. It's useful for all of us, as from children to adults. It is a part of all of our lives. Math is important. It helps our young people to develop their mathematical thinking. A child's mathematical knowledge starts at kindergarten, and that predicts later how they will achieve academically, particularly in reading and attention skills. Math is a part of a child's everyday life. Taking advantage of each of these mathematical moments helps to develop mathematical learning. Each math moment is like a charging station that helps children become ready for the next math moment. Math is, it's measuring, it's sorting, it's building, it's noticing patterns and making comparisons, describing the environment, as well as counting and knowing the names of shapes. There are many ways to incorporate math into our everyday learning moments. Math and talking goes together. Talking about math is oh so important, and every bit of math talk helps. Research shows that when we increase talking about math, such as about asking about objects and adding one object or taking an object away, brings back to us bigger results. It's important for us to believe our children can get better at math and develop mathematical concepts. That's what we talk about math mindset, the belief that we can keep learning and getting better at math is very important in supporting our children to become mathematicians. When children focus on the problem solving rather than getting the right answer, they learn more. As parents, our mindsets about mathematics influence our children. Our children notice when parents feel anxious about math or say things like, some people are just not good at math. Girls in particular pick up attitudes and hold that girls are not supposed to do math. Those are just myths and things that we hear people say, well, I'm not good at math. Let's say things like, let's try and figure it out. Let's focus on solving the problem. Your words and your attitude make a difference in mathematics. so we can foster positive attitudes towards math. Let's find out some ways that we can incorporate math in our everyday math talk, in our regular routines like cooking, setting the table, going to the grocery store, going to a walk. Just enjoy our conversations about math. And it's okay in math if we make mistakes. Mistakes help us to learn, help us to focus on problems and solving them. Using mistakes are an opportunity to promote growth mindset. So as we go into our next slide, we're going to talk about becoming a family of math. In this slide, there are 4 short videos that will help you to recognize how to become a math family. We do math all the time. Math is everywhere around us. We want you to show your children how you use math in your everyday life. You can also find many books to read about math with your children, both in stories and pictures. We see that math is being used. You can also point out to your students and your boys and girls how math is useful in other activities and things that they love to do. At this time, we're going to watch a short video on becoming a math family.
As adults, we use math every day. You might use it while you're cooking dinner or when you're trying to figure out how much time to give yourself to get somewhere. When you think about it, you might be surprised at how much math you actually use every day. So here are some tips on how you can help your child find the math in their life. First, be a math model and show your child how you use math every day. Then make math useful by asking your child to help you solve problems in your lives together. You can also point out math such as numbers and shapes in games and books. And finally, make math connections by pointing out to your child how a current problem they're working on is similar to something that they've done before. By finding the math in your life together, your child can see how math helps us every day.
Okay, thank you. At some other time, you can go back and you will have access to these videos that you can review with your students or on your own. Now we want to talk about what is growth mindset. Thanks to our Professor Carol Dweck at Stanford University, did the research on growth and mindset. If a child believes that their intelligence or math ability is fixed and cannot be changed, that endorses a fixed mindset. But if a child believes that through hard work and effort, their intelligence and mathematical ability can increase, that endorses a growth mindset. Each type of mindset affects our students' ability and motivation to learn. It also promotes success and achievement in school. Everyone at every age can learn something new. It might take some time and it might take some effort, but it's okay. The brain is like a muscle and it is challenged. When we get challenged and the brain gets bigger and it gets stronger, new science information confirms that when we do challenging things from sports to math, our brains grow. Our brains continue to grow. And so remember the story book, The Little Engine That Could? In this story, the little engine says, I think I can, I think I can, I think it can, says the little engine as it chugs up a hill to deliver toys to the children on the other side of the mountain. This classic children's story is a great jumping off point for discussion about the role and the effort of persistence in accomplishing things that are hard for us. Take an opportunity to read this story with your children or with your child and discuss the role of effort. Spoiler, I want you to know that the little engine does make it. So as we look at what are some ways in which we can work at fostering growth mindset. Number one, exercising our brain. We talked about earlier that our brain is a muscle. Talk about a new skill that you've learned as a parent. Encourage your student or your children to exercise their brain by trying challenging activities such as puzzles and math games. Encourage them even if they make a mistake, and understanding that through mistakes we grow. And on a daily basis, have discussions about what they're learning. At bedtime is a natural time to have a little talk about what happened during the week. Try to notice what your children are learning and what things they say that are hard for them and what new skills they're attempting and encouraging them. Reflect back to your child's examples on what they're working on and what's hard, and help to emphasize the value that you place in the effort of them learning. And our third point is to talk about the new skill that you're learning. As adults, we learn new skills each day. Notice your own opportunity areas and point out to your children that as you use examples from your life, this could be about your own progress of learning how to cook, how to drive, how to do a virtual chat room, how to learn a new language. Your child might be surprised that learning is something new that requires hard work and effort, even for you. And then ask questions. Ask your child questions that emphasizes on the value of hard working. Like, what did you do today? Was it difficult? Was it challenging for you? What did you do to try to work around that challenge? What strategies did you use? And then fifth, link these efforts to accomplishment. Connect your child's effort and hard work to how she or he feels when they have accomplished a goal. It makes us feel great when we can say we have accomplished a goal. And so in the next opportunity, we want to talk about some connections. Literature and math are a natural connection. In our next slide, we have several resources. Many children's books are perfect for introducing and recognizing mathematical concepts. There are several sources that provide literature that explain the concept of mathematical skills. One resource is your local library. Educators have long known that one of the most effective ways is to teach math concepts is through literature by using stories and literature. There's a resource that's called the Support+Math book list. It is a comprehensive collection of math picture books that you can find anywhere. All of these amazing Tumble books formats have complete animation and narrations with them to help the students understand the concept of what's being taught. And then at home or at school, there's a collection that's called At Home, at School, and it's a collection of activities that are organized by mathematical concept that uses familiar routines that can be used by students and families and teachers in a variety of settings. And then, of course, online, we have our ebooks or our online books. There are many read alouds that are on the YouTube that you can go to that help our students to actually access learning of new concepts by listening to videos and listening to stories that are read that relate to mathematical concepts. And then as we go into our next slide, this slide has an example of mathematical manipulatives. These manipulatives are free, and we want to just click on the one that says the how-to video. So here you can see, as we click on this video, how we can use our mathematical manipulatives. Your students are using manipulatives at home, virtually, and these are free virtual manipulatives that help students to visualize as they practice these math skills. So take an opportunity at the end of this presentation. There is going to be a list of all of the resources, virtual manipulatives in a presentation that's going to be shared with you so that you will have an opportunity to access them. So now let's talk a little about our beliefs about math. As we talk about math and our beliefs, parents and teachers, we need to place a sympathetic message in our students' ears that math is something that you can do. We need to be positive. We need to share with them, I believe in you. Math is open. It's a beautiful subject. And with effort and hard work, you can get it done. So those are some wonderful resources that are available to us that we can go through and look at. As we look at all of these resources that are available to us, in our last slide, we are able to click on these slides, and all of these are hyperlinks of things that have resources that are available for us, that our students can access. We have slides that show us how to read math books and things out loud. There's a slide on how to use virtual manipulatives, and it shows us how to access the virtual manipulatives. And there are videos, and these videos explain to us as parents, as we're using these manipulatives at home with our students, how they can access these videos. And as we click on those videos at that particular time, it has a little video that shows us how to access Unifix cubes. And these videos are very helpful. They're self-explanatory and help us to understand how to use manipulatives with our students at home. Okay, do we have any questions in the chat box at this time? And we're at the end of our presentation.